I just used everything that we talked about. Yeah. And of course, we can't see the art in the back because it's being eclipsed by...
Oh, you put it this different this time.
I did?
Yeah, you said just do it. I thought it was supposed to be.
I did. I said just do it. And right underneath, it's the vet one.
Oh, okay.
You see it?
Now I gotta refresh the page.
Yeah, it's not.
I deleted my Facebook app. I have no room on my phone. Need a new phone. Oh, here we go.
Kara? Yeah. Can you share the link for me as well?
Are we totally live and we're just kind of like chilling?
Welcome to Our Thoughts, Your Thoughts. A show where we talk about the things you want to talk about.
And the things you don't want to talk about.
Like these beautiful cheesecakes?
Don't talk about those.
Oh, Kevin has a special story as to why he cannot touch these special cheesecakes.
It's not really special. It's just, you know, as a teacher, today was the first day of school, back to it. So you got to get disciplined again. Summer was a little bit too much of sweets and the wrong things. Today is day one. Got to be disciplined. So I'm going to torture myself for an hour. These look amazing, by the way. You guys have to tell me how they taste.
We will. I definitely will.
You know, it's a lot easier when you're viewing on the other end of the cell phone.
Yeah.
Right? And to not eat these. Now I got to watch you eat them.
I see you're pretty bronzed up. Where'd you go this summer?
Local. The only thing I went to all summer was the Toronto Zoo, which that could be a topic right there.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. Like, I love it to see my son. He's 3 now. He's so excited to see the animals. But I know how those animals must feel. Like, most of them look sad as you walk around the zoo. It's pretty sad. But it's tons of happy kids, so I guess it works out. So it helped with my guilt. But as they get older, I don't think I'll be going to any more zoos.
No, I agree 100%.
Aquarium's okay. Fish don't smile, so...
Yeah.
Wow.
It's true. I'm just saying.
Fish don't smile. Never thought of that.
I think they must feel something too, right?
Yeah, true.
Because like their fats has all these omegas in it.
Yeah.
That means they're super smart too. So they must smile or whatever.
Yeah. Some of them have those big heads too.
Mm-hmm.
The big brain.
Like, have you ever seen a dolphin's brain compared to a human's brain?
Not in person.
It's crazy. It's so similar.
But they have human habits, right, and characteristics.
Or we have dolphin habits.
I never thought that. Missing link.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why I'm such a good swimmer.
Hashtag Sapiens.
Yeah. Did you read that book yet? Sapiens?
No. Okay. I was looking at that. I was looking at the. Well, it's all over Instagram. Like everyone's posting their picture with them with that book. Yeah. What are we talking about here?
Oh man.
Everything.
Like, dude. Like everything. Like nobody's safe. It's like the world is getting roasted.
Right. Okay.
Like that's really what
it's
it
like
is.
Eminem rapping.
We'll get to that. and we're all MGKs, right? Machine Gun.
Yeah, I know.
Machine Gun Kelly.
I got it. Yeah, I know. Distant cousin, as you know. Distant cousin.
You did that.
Kelly Castle in Ireland, of course.
Oh, for real? You guys
No,
are?
I just assume we come from one Kelly. I think that's how.
I was watching a YouTube clip of him crip walking. It's like MGK. It's kind of sad.
But like it's just like he's just dancing. I hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like crip dancing or crip walking has a lot of connotation.
I kind of feel like the tattoos on his face make him the original SoundCloud rapper that is kind of taken over music with youth today.
Wow.
You know what's really
so
fun?
you're gonna give him that much props?
I just think he is that guy. Or like this long line of like, it almost seems like there's a vending machine. You stick a quarter in it, and a new SoundCloud rapper with tattoos on their face comes out and has a hit. That's just how it goes.
With colorful hair.
Very colorful.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though? I played the song for my boss this morning, and his MGK's response, and she was like, "This guy just sounds like a YouTube rapper."
Wow.
So, but
Technically,
anyway, that's messed up. Well, yes, he is a YouTube rapper. Pretty much. So, we got a lot to get to, you guys. Like they were said, all right, share the show because we got some crazy conversations going on today. Shout out to Lana of Oh My Cheesecakes for supplying us with. Oh man, we got some new flavors. Sorry, Kev.
Yeah, it's all right. Enjoy them.
All right.
I enjoy
you
too
know
much.
what? We
I enjoy too
never
much.
even got to why you can't eat those.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm doing the new fad, right? Everyone's doing the keto diet, so I bought a book on Amazon. My understanding is it's going to cure all my issues. I'm going to lose 100 pounds. I'm going to probably run in the Boston Marathon. Or in about 2 weeks, I'm going to just go get cheesecake because I remember this moment. We'll see how it goes.
We'll be waiting for you.
All right. You
Yeah.
saved me some.
Yeah, but so what are some of those illnesses that you have to eat better for?
I don't think it's illnesses. I just...
Like, will it help, like, talking better and stuff?
Probably. That's what I read.
Me feel English. That's
Helps with your... Well, apparently, the idea behind it is you go into ketosis, and apparently it makes you very clear-headed. I just think it'd probably be good that I don't eat dessert every single day of the week like I did all summer long.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, it's
Besides
summer. It's
everything.
everything wrong with... Everything that you read in any health book will tell you that's not a good idea.
Look,
but,
Kev,
hey, it's summer.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Right.
That's all you got to remember.
Kayla says, I've never seen you so sad. You know this face. You know, and it's gleaming. It looks amazing.
Oh, man. So, with that being said, you know what? Shout out to Lana once again. Lana has a special going till the end of the week. We'll post the link, but if you go to Oh My Cheesecakes Facebook page or website, you can look for the information to get $5 off a dozen by putting in School 5. It's a back to school special.
So, I just want to remind you guys that the camera is not on the laptop. It's actually over there.
Right.
So
What a jerk.
when we're talking, let's look at the camera that's in front of us.
Is it wrong that I was looking at the microphone? Just
You gotta
talking,
look, just
talking to the
somewhere.
person directly in front of you back at home.
You just gotta
So,
look somewhere. You just gotta look
withdraw
somewhere.
already, right?
Oh my God.
From all the sugar.
Fine. So, you know what? Like we usually do. Oh, I wanted to just show everyone this a little bit. So if you guys don't see my shirt.
Oh.
Okay, so this
Throwback.
This is a throwback. This shirt is from 2006. 2007. 2007. The moral of the story is when your boy and his girl that nobody likes break up, you throw a party and you make t-shirts.
It was a great party. It was an awesome party.
It was a
My
good party.
wife will tend to wear that shirt to bed sometimes. It's kind of a nice throwback to a classic Kev moment.
I love it.
When
I
Kevin
love
had a
it.
full head of hair and wore a cowboy hat to bars.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? We got to proceed because Ty Louis said this show better be as fire as promised. Totally neglecting my parental duties tonight.
Nice.
So we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Click the like button for that.
But we are not responsible for your irresponsibilities,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah, we're not liable.
We're not.
Like Eminem when he raps and tells that to parents. All right, anyway, I'll stop that. Anyway, speaking of Eminem, let's move into some stuff here. Before we get into music, what's your tip of the week for the people? You're the guest, man. You always go, man. You always go. Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about parental duties. Here is a good tip that my wife and I were talking about recently. Lindsay, at home, I love you. If your kids are going back to school, everyone thinks about getting the teachers, especially, this is more for elementary. I don't get too many gifts being a high school teacher, but when I do, they're always appreciative. It's nice to give a gift on the first day. Start it off the right way and say, thank you for teaching my child. Thank you for watching over my child. And I'm going to give you this Tim Hortons $5 gift card to buy yourself a coffee or two on the first day. Just throwing it out there. Today was the first day. I didn't get any gifts. 0 gifts. But like I said, I'm high school. But everyone expects it at Christmas. Everyone expects it. Sorry, that sounds rude. You assume that any gifts that you would get from students would be around the holidays. However, on the first day, a $5 gift card for your son or daughter's teacher to buy a coffee.
But in
get
high
them through
school-
the week. That's not a bad idea.
But in high school, can't they get you the gift themselves, the students?
Yeah, it's encouraged. I tell students on the first day, it is always encouraged to bring me a coffee. You don't get any points. It doesn't really award you with anything, but you're a great person. I respect you.
So how do you tell your students to bring you a gift on the first day?
Well, I let them know my birthday's coming up. And now this year, my birthday, you got to be open. My birthday falls on a weekend, so it's kind of a bummer for them. But every year, my birthday, when it's on a weekday, we kind of have some potluck parties. 2 reasons: I'm the teacher, and I'd like to eat food while we teach. Anyway.
As long as it's keto.
Yeah, now it's got to be keto, so it's probably better it falls on the weekend because the usual potluck is Doritos and popcorn. That's pretty much
So
You know what? I would like to give a shout out though, because you reminded them that it's going to be your birthday. It's also going to be Rob's birthday.
yo,
I
that was
had
supposed-
to.
That was supposed to be private stuff.
It's supposed to be private.
Well, everyone
I'm
knows
not
you
giving
were
the
born
date.
one
I'm
day.
just saying it's coming up.
Everyone knows you were born one day.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm just saying it's coming up. So shout out to the 2 co-guests.
Oh, Virgos.
Virgos, yeah.
Virgos.
Yes.
Right there.
Oh,
We don't argue. We don't
Oh,
argue.
so that's cool. Just
no conflict from us.
just
We're nice
exclude
people.
me. It's cool. You know, whatever.
What are you?
He's like some
I'm a Sagittarius.
Jupiter or something.
I don't even know much about that, so I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Half horse.
It's too
That's all I
long.
know.
Too long of a name. Virgo's.
Half horse. I run fast. That's all I know.
That's true.
all I know.
That's true. He does
Hey.
run fast. Used to, at least. Used to.
Oh yeah. My kids like just suck my athleticism dry. So
Yeah, that's
whatever.
fair. That's fair.
On that note, what's your tip of the week, Rob?
So hashtag old as balls.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it.
Anyways, so I want to go back to what Kevin was saying. Kevin was saying like get a teacher gift on first day,
Yep.
right? I feel like I'm not sure if I agree 100%.
That's fair.
Like trust has to be earned, not just given away for free.
Okay.
I think it's good to kind of buy yourself in right away.
Yep.
But I rather want to give it to you based on our interactions and relationship and what you've done for us.
That's fair. I get you on that one. As a parent and a teacher, I disagree.
So you like to be bribed first.
No, it's not a bribe. It's
Preferential
not a bribe.
treatment.
It's not a bribe. And you know what? If a student didn't give me something ever, I would never hold that against them. It's nice to get gifts, but they're not mandatory. Certainly not in my classes, because we'll just have potlucks anyways.
Are kids allowed to have like real potlucks now? Like given that everybody's allergic to something?
Well, yeah,
They're all allergic to these nuts.
Hey, you're too old to say that? That sounds really bad.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
it sounds really bad.
I'm a teacher.
What?
I teach the youth.
You know what would have been
I
great?
teach the youth.
What would have been great is actually if I pulled out a handful of nuts out of my pocket.
But you
just didn't
can't
work.
actually
You can't
bring
take
that.
that.
It's
In the podcast,
It's an
for all-
allergen.
For all they know, I do have pockets. that
I'm
were
not
filled
trying to
with peanuts.
pop out an EpiPen in the first week at a scavenger or a potluck because
Was it
someone
orange to the
brought
sky,
a
blue to
thing.
the thigh?
Orange to the thigh, blue to the sky.
Blue
Keep
to
your
the sky.
thumb off the top in case you did it wrong, because if that needle gets in your thumb, you're losing your thumb.
That was a test you passed, teacher.
Hey,
Good
we
job.
trained every year.
I like it. I like it. Tip of the week.
I didn't give my tip of the week.
I thought that was your tip
Yeah,
of the
you
week.
said don't give a gift
just
on the
said-
first day to Kevin.
No.
And you said
I-
trust is earned.
That wasn't no.
Jesus, man.
I was just trying to understand what he had to say.
Oh,
Okay.
this is how beef starts.
Okay, go ahead,
Continue.
Jet.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I'll
no,
go-
no,
I'll
no,
go
no.
last.
No, I didn't
let
know.
Rob go
Oh,
last.
I'll
You've
let-
offended him.
All right, I've offended his honor. I apologize. No, I was just gonna say, my tip of the week is just if you want to hear the truth, ask a kid. They will tell you the truth. So,
Yes.
so the story behind that is
Painfully.
I was making food for the kids, so I attempted to make some rice, but like some of it, like a little bit of it burnt, just a little bit. So I knew they might not like it, but I gave it to them the top, and I didn't give them the burnt part. So I put in the plate. I gave it to my eldest Xavier, gave it to all the kids. My 3-year-old ate it because he'll eat anything. Then my 5-year-old, who's like a rice aficionado, he took like 2 bites and he's like, I can't do it, Daddy. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then I was like, okay, like I knew you probably couldn't. I was like, just take 1 bite so you could be like a bit fuller. And then the 7-year-old was like, yeah, Dad, I ate it all, but I really didn't like it. But I didn't want to hurt your feelings, so I ate it all. And I'm like,
Wow.
okay, all right.
This is awesome.
So at least I was like, yo, he has a conscience.
Yeah.
So I'm
That's
like,
respectful right there.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
That's
okay with that.
respectful.
So
I'm okay with
that makes him a good kid and a good son, and you a really shitty dad.
Yeah, or a cook.
Why am I a shitty
for
dad?
feeding him
Yeah.
like charcoal, man.
I didn't teach.
You,
I took the top.
You fed him
Yo,
charcoal.
Yo, you know what? Kyle
respectful.
is echoing your sentiment right now. He said tip of the week. Shut up, Jet.
Yeah, I'll second it. Right? We'll do it more than once on the show.
And then your sister is apparently like chirping me too because I said Sagittarius. She said your dad's a Sagittarius.
Nice.
Like really?
Nice.
Damn. All
Hi,
right.
Kayla. Oh, hi, Mom. My mom's here, too.
Everybody's going in on me today, but whatever. So did you really have a tip of the week?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, go ahead. My apologies.
You know, when people give you advice, it's all good. When they give you tips, it's all good. But from CEOs to people working as janitors, nobody's really an expert in anything. We're all trying to figure things out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. It's all opinion, really, and best advice that a person can give, not necessarily exact. I like it.
All right, cool.
Except for teachers. Teachers are right all the time.
60%.
You know
They're
what?
right every time.
I've been suspended from school many times.
Yeah.
I've gone into a lot of fights.
Rob.
But I've never been suspended for getting into a fight. Always got suspended for interaction with teachers.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't picture it.
Yeah, we just don't see it.
See, but I
Yeah.
would like, I enjoy a student who will always give, not necessarily confrontational, but give a different perspective in any discussion we have in a class. And I'm always open-minded to that, because if we shut down perspectives, we stop learning everything there is about a subject, right?
Yeah,
True.
I agree.
True.
Plus, you won't get Tim Hortons gift cards.
Exactly. Oh man, are you sure you're gonna be okay with us eating this in your
Yeah,
face?
just do it. Just go at
Just do it?
Just do it.
Are we going there?
Yeah. Are we starting with that?
No. We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. But you know
Good,
what?
I have-
Hey,
Dude, this is so good.
Thank you.
Which one is this?
Creme brulee. Creme brulee cheesecake. Jesus.
Wow.
Sorry, bro.
No, it's all good.
You're
It's all good. It's all good.
You look like Stewie when he was rocking back and forth saying it's gonna be okay.
No, it's good. I enjoyed cheesecake and stuff like that. Also, I got on my finger.
We'll get.
Got on my finger. That happened.
I begged you to look at mine first.
I begged you.
I begged you. Oh man, so hey, for all of you who just signed in, please share the show on your page so that we can get other people joining this conversation, because we got some fire content moving forward. Hey, before moving forward, we just want to let you guys know we're on YouTube, y'all. We are on YouTube, and we're going to be putting out content on a weekly basis now. So
Thank you, babe.
a lot of people have actually signed in from time to time, asking us, hey, why aren't you guys on? And we said we're on actually every 2 weeks. Sorry, our apologies. So you know what? To appease the masses, we'll be putting out content, but we're going to put the link up. So please subscribe to the channel. Like we said, make sure you click the button that'll likely be down here when it's posted for some of you watching it on YouTube afterwards, and click the bell because it'll let you know when we've posted some new content. Now, with that being said, what song are you vibing to right now? What's your song of the week? Pardon my reach.
Ooh, I like to keep it classic, right?
Last time, what was it again? La Vie en Rose?
Yeah. I like to keep it classic. This one
Your memory's
keeps
good,
coming
man.
up. This one keeps coming. Yeah, that was impressive, Jet. Although he might have done his research. He watched the tape on the past shows where I was a guest. Okay, this is the big one. This has got me, and it's coming from my son Everett. He loves this song. He calls it the Baba song. And Lindsay dropped him off at school last week, and I was taking him somewhere else just after the bell. And we're in the car, and he goes, play the Baba song, play the Baba song. I'm like, what is the Baba song? I'm thinking Baba, Black Sheep, or something like that. I don't know what the Baba song. So I had to text Lindsay, not while driving. What is the Baba song? She writes back, she goes, Barbara Ann by the Beach Boys. He is obsessed with that song.
What?
And Meant to Be by Florida Georgia Line and BB Rexa. But he loves Barbara Ann by the Beach Boys. It's insane.
He's an old soul.
He sings it, yes, I know, and he goes nuts. Play the Baba song, play the Baba song. So it's in my head. I've listened to it
Barbara Ann
100
by the
times
Beach
in the
Boys.
last 2 days.
Okay, cool.
And
Nice.
it won't be the last 100 times.
No,
that you hear
but
it.
it's a decent song. I enjoy listening to it. So that's the thing. It'd be different if it was another like kids band, but it's cool.
Kayla's saying you're welcome. That's all.
Oh yeah, I know.
That's all
That's
right.
come from
That's
my
all
mom and sister. It's come from Kayla and my mom.
So Rob, what's your song of the week?
It's two of them. Besides
We can do
the
that.
fact that
Always.
there's a special note here that says tip of the week and song of the week have one song, Rob, that's you. Written by Jet. One of them is I just couldn't decide. I'm sorry, man.
That's fine. That's fine.
Is
Oh, you're the best. Look at that. That's so sweet.
It's raw, sugar-free,
Wow.
peanut butter.
Wow.
Thank you so
Yo,
much.
click
That
the
is
like
very
button
sweet
for
and thoughtful
Kara.
of you.
Hook it up. Guess the
that's
food
all.
they can
I'm
eat.
gonna throw a strawberry in there.
Oh, well done. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. But she stole your thunder, so that's all Rob's thinking.
Yeah.
She stole my.
So, Jen,
thunder.
what's your 2 songs?
Oh my God.
So
Go
what's
ahead.
your-
Go
what's-
ahead.
what's
No,
your
go ahead,
song,
Rob.
Jen?
Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead, Rob.
it's Let Me Clear My Throat
Oh, okay.
by DJ Alert.
I thought it was DJ
I thought it
Clue.
was DJ Cool.
DJ Cool.
Oh, did I say Clue?
Yeah.
Sounds the
DJ
same.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. The reason is
Mm-hmm.
generally with what's going on today, sometimes you just have to clear your throat so people can actually understand everything you gotta say.
Well done, sir.
Wow.
And what's song
Deep.
number 2?
It's okay. I'll play ball today.
You feeling okay?
Man, you have offended him twice today.
I'm
It's a good
offended.
thing I'm sitting in the middle.
Okay. It feels like summer.
Great song.
Okay. Wait,
By
that's the
Charles-
song? Or
Charles
we're just saying
Gambino.
it's hot?
Childish
Okay,
Gambino.
nice. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's hot inside the house.
It's hot out. You try being in a portable all day.
Yeah.
Portables are hotter than anywhere else on the planet. You know that, right?
Amazing.
Stains
Amazing.
for days.
Wow. All right. Ian Murchison is saying, "See you soon." Chelsea Grin, hard and heavy.
That's the song, I think.
Oh
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Dope. My song of the week is by, I think it's Bass, BAS, and J. Cole, and it's called Tribe. Addictive. The
Tribe
song's-
Addictive?
No, the song's called Tribe. Pause. It's addictive.
Oh, okay, nice.
What's it about?
I don't even know.
Tribes,
Probably.
mostly tribes.
Probably.
Some tribes involved in that song.
Probably tribes. Probably tribes.
Don't you just hate that Kevin is like actually really smart? Makes us feel like inadequate. Makes me feel inadequate.
As you know, I come from dolphins. Many dolphin-like traits.
Hashtag sapiens.
Sapiens.
So moving forward, so speaking, we're still in the music vein here, but on the weekend, Aretha Franklin passed away.
God rest her
Well, she
soul.
didn't pass away this weekend, but her the celebration of her life was this weekend, and it was essentially a concert.
Yeah.
And Bill Clinton eyeing every pretty singer he could find.
Yeah. He got
and
caught.
that pastor
He got
And the
caught.
pastor groping Ariana Grande.
that little girl.
Oh, hold on. And that pastor dropping some really out of touch things in her eulogy.
Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous.
Did we read that?
No.
It was basically condemning black on black crime, and the whole eulogy was basically, this is wrong, we're doing to society, and Aretha would agree. Okay, that's not a eulogy, that's you grandstanding and
Wow.
using a woman who's just passed away to prove your point.
Isn't that what
Wow.
Madonna did like the week before?
Yes, yes.
So ridiculous.
It's someone
What's-
needed to tell Madonna that Madonna didn't die. That was important. Like that was an important aspect to Madonna's dedication. To
100% agree. 100% agree.
So right before the show, Kevin was giving us some really interesting information about Aretha. What did you find out?
Yeah, so I was reading today. Her oldest son, she had him when she was 12 years old. And I have no other information other than that little tidbit about it. And it makes you wonder, what is the story there?
Wow.
Do we have a history? It almost sounds like something like that would be maybe abuse, but you can't draw conclusions. Certainly don't think a 12-year-old would be of the age of consent in any country. So that's interesting. There's probably a pretty, either a horrible story or one of accident and misfortune, I would think.
Well, given you saying that, I respect her even more for being able to achieve everything she has.
Oh
given
yeah,
that
100%,
situation.
100%. Well, and that was that pastor who spoke in her eulogy. In
was
it,
him?
he said something horrible. He basically said black women cannot raise black men on their own, and he said it's up to black men to make it possible to raise black men in society, and women need help in the home. Basically saying women are not capable of raising children on their own, which we know that's not the case in any way, and men too.
Yeah, I respect all the strong, independent, and single mothers out there.
Absolutely.
Given
100%.
that, you know, Karen and I were raising the kids together, that is hard. I can't even imagine a woman raising kids on her own. So dudes who decide to leave and let a woman do the work, I don't respect that.
No, zero respect to
Yeah,
that.
that's crazy. So, going back to Aretha's passing and saying that her funeral was pretty much a concert. What's the most memorable funeral you've ever seen or been to?
Biggies. When
You went?
no, I saw it on TV.
I was gonna say
When
that.
Hypnotize hit in Brooklyn, that was crazy. So they had the hearse driving by I forgot which street in Bed-Stuy somewhere, and then somebody put Hypnotize, and the whole neighborhood became like a big club joint.
Wow.
I thought that was cool.
Seems like a proper send-off.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I think all of them are memorable and hopefully forgettable, right? Because it's a pretty awful thing if you knew the deceased.
Yeah.
I got to think MJ, right? MJ's
Yeah.
dedication to the Staples Center was one of the largest gatherings of people in the Staples Center and outside ever recorded, and the people that spoke and performed, and his family was there, and you know, a lot of things are coming to light now, right? About the accusations that were kind of thrown his way in his life, and you're starting to see that no, it looks actually the FBI just closed the investigation, said there is absolutely zero evidence for any of the accusations to be true, which when he was alive, so many people were on the fence about that, and now the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, whose job it is, has found zero evidence, not even things on computers or anything like that. In fact, the only evidence they found of some things like that led to believe that he was a heterosexual male, which he had always claimed to be. So, interesting.
I like how that was so subtle.
No, but it's true. I mean, we all know what the accusations were.
I
right?
want to speak so eloquently like Kevin. He's too smart.
Kevin for mayor.
Is there an election?
You'll never know.
Is it
You'll
too
never
late?
know what he's truly thinking, and that's dangerous.
That's the trick. That's the trick to being a good teacher.
That's right, Bart. Your ass is mine. I think things I would never say.
Oh my God. Good throwback.
Oh man, I thought of two. One was personal. One was just one I saw on TV. When Lady Diana died.
Oh yeah,
That was
big.
huge.
That was big. Yeah.
That was huge when Lady Diana. That was a big one when Lady Diana passed away. And another one I have to say was when my grandmother passed in Florida. The reason it was so memorable was because I had never seen this before. So you know in New Orleans when people pass away and they have like marching bands and horns and all that stuff? They had that at my grandmother's funeral.
Wow.
And
oh snap! What happened?
Did we just get cut?
Did it stop?
Oh no.
It's froze. What happened? It says we're still live.
It is. It's not frozen.
Oh, it's just on the computer maybe.
It's good.
It's doing good.
We
It's
can just
just on
keep
the-
talking.
Yeah, it's just on the computer that
You just got to. If I'm not eating that right next to you,
I see you looking at me, man.
No, I'm just trying to know, like, to see if it works out here.
So I have to share.
guys, we got to get a studio, eh?
Yeah, we need a real studio. Okay, we're back live.
Are we live?
Yeah,
Do
we're
we have
back.
to share the video?
Yes,
I would share again.
unfortunately.
Honestly,
I had so many people like in my house that shared it.
there's like 40 people in the chat. It looks like it's busy.
Yeah, so do it again. So I don't know what happened.
Technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
Well,
We apologize, y'all.
So you're saying Lady
No, your grandmother's funeral had the New Orleans
Oh yeah.
trumpet band.
They just had a band. It was like it was nuts. It was nuts. Like it looked like Treme or something from HBO. It looked like that. Like it was nuts. But other than that, like Lady Diana is probably the one that I would say was probably the most memorable.
people are still grieving that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it was, what, 20 years that she passed? This
Oh.
past August.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was, I think that's probably a commemoration going on.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Who would have thought that Prince Williams would have looked like the way he does?
Mm-hmm.
Why
Well,
do
if you
say
saw
that?
his father.
Like Prince Harry looks way better.
Now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but they're
now.
not that far off in age.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
Like one of them looks actually inbred, the other one doesn't.
But they're royals, right?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
gross.
through history, they kept that bloodline pure, right?
Yeah. Anyway, moving right along.
Yeah, please do.
So moving right along, once again, you guys, please share the show. We had a bit of a technical difficulty, but let's get the conversation going. So, Eminem just put out a surprise project.
Like an angry old man project.
Was the meme that was going around, old man yells at clouds, and it's got Eminem's face
Oh, really?
superimposed on Abe Simpson?
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's like he's been bottling everything in, and the fact that people dissed his last album, he just couldn't live with.
but it wasn't good though.
Wait,
I
which
forgot
one was his last album?
Revival? Like I didn't even remember.
That's
it was
from
out.
like 7-8 years ago?
No, like
No,
last
no,
year.
like last year.
Like late last year.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Like I don't remember it.
So then he just insulted anyone that insulted him?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It seems.
And he went in. But what are your thoughts on the album?
I haven't
just
listened
as
to
a
it.
whole.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Okay.
Honestly, I think for me, I'm trying to put myself in the shoe of one of those new age SoundCloud rappers.
Yeah.
His lyricism is way over people's head.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Like his rhythm, how fast and how many like how much wordplay goes into one sentence, I'm not sure.
So
There's attention span.
you'd say that he doesn't connect well with this generation that connects really well with these SoundCloud rappers who, I mean, just some of their lyrics and their songs are just 4 or 5 words repeated over and over, which now I sound like the old man, right? Because it's not for us, it's for a different generation, so we
Yeah.
don't necessarily get it.
Yeah.
But I could see where his anger comes from, because I guarantee you he puts a lot more thought into his rhymes, right? A lot more thought into his music, whereas the other ones just seem like if you get a good beat,
Well,
then
the-
you could say whatever you like on
Yeah.
it, right?
The art of it is dead,
Well, some of them are still keeping it afloat,
and he gives them their props.
but I still do believe that like we have to respect the young, and the young will respect us too.
Mhm.
And like they don't, I don't feel like they owe us anything, but we also have to show them the right way. Like having that that divide doesn't help with anything. You know, like saying that they are clowns and our generation wasn't. I think the generation before us would say that we were
100%.
we were
yeah.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think like his style works, but I'm not sure if he'll be able to like compete with some of the kids nowadays. I think you got to go somewhere in between where you give them a little bit of what they want while still giving them a little bit of knowledge, sprinkle here and there.
The ultimate test for me is when I'm in class and I hear a kid say, "Oh, I'm going to play some old school music."
What is old school music?
Well, keep in mind, right? So if there's a kid in my class, it's 2018, and they play something from like 2010, you know what I mean? Like if it's
That was
2010,
yesterday.
but it's
That's
8
crazy.
years ago for them. They were in elementary school. That's old school to them.
Oh.
That you feel old when they do that. I'm going to say that right now. But then you start to realize how disconnected, because like 2010, like you said, that's still like on my playlist as a new song. You know what I mean? Like old school
Yeah.
for me was coming from like the 90s and like early
Early,
90s,
yeah.
right? Like that's the latest that old school can be, I think, or earliest that old school can be.
Yeah.
Not for kids today, because our new school is their old school, and it's very few songs that they connect with. Right? It's talking about things that are different for them that they never experienced.
But you know what? At the same time, like Chef Henry's making a good point. He's not really dissing anyone. He's just stating facts. And at one point, he even says he's like, he talks about Lil Yachty. He's like, I just don't get it. It's just not for me. But he doesn't diss him. He just says it's just not for me, right? And he talks about guys who don't write their own raps, like
Drake.
Drake. But he calls them all out, and he's like, and I think that's like you said, it's part of the art.
Wait, Drake doesn't write his own?
I don't think he writes all of it, but I
Yeah.
do think he might have some really good penmanship.
But I mean, there's probably a lot of artists that have hit songs that are classics that they did not write, but they performed it better than anyone else.
And that's another thing. As much of you could be a great rapper, without that other piece,
Right.
you can't go anywhere.
So you can't be GOAT status in the rap game without lyrics and
Swag.
yeah. Okay.
Like Jay-Z had swag.
Right. Okay.
You know, even Nas had, swag. But like,
But in 10 years from now, are the kids today going to be saying, I don't know, give me a SoundCloud rapper's name? That guy who
21
died?
Savage
Okay, that one.
or
21
X
Savage.
Tentacion.
Tentacion. I couldn't even, like, there's too many letters in the name.
Yeah.
It seemed more like a trademark name than anything, but that might be something. They're going to be talking about him and glorifying him from their generation because they connected with that song. Are they going to be saying that about the next generation? History tells us yes. Right?
which I love this debate because it tells us that we can't just live in our own bubble, that we have to connect with the others.
Yeah.
Like it's like a dad trying to reason with his kid. You can't just tell your kid what to do or what to think. You kind of have to go down on your knees so you can be at eye level with them and reason with them that way, or else it'll always be a disconnect, right?
100%.
I think it's important to understand, okay, what makes their music tick, so you can connect with them.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
Yeah.
That's dope. So, do you think that all this stuff going on with him beefing with MGK or Machine Gun Kelly? Machine Gun Kelly.
Distant cousin.
Do you think that this is just opening a door? Like this is just gonna go out of control now, in terms of people just going at each other now. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of entertained seeing like these white rappers just go after each other. Because I don't think it's ever happened before. We're used to seeing beef with like the Biggie and Pac and Nas and Jay-Z. I don't think it's ever happened in history where I see two white rappers going after each
Bubba
other.
Spark and Eminem went at it.
Did they?
Really?
It wasn't big,
Okay,
was
was
gonna
it a
say it
massacre
couldn't have
though,
been.
or was it actually pretty good?
Couldn't have
but
been
somebody's dead right now, career-wise.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm saying. Was it
Is-
one-sided?
Yep.
Where is Bubba Spark, right? But I saw what you posted about Michael Rappaport.
Mm-hmm.
He is right. A lot of people didn't respond back to Eminem right away, and MGK was one of the first ones to be like, I don't care how this ends, I'm gonna go and represent, and I respect that.
Yep.
Like, you gotta go and represent for the team. And the thing is, it's like any fight or any competition. If you make them fight your style, you're always gonna win.
Right.
None of these kids can beat Eminem.
No, yeah. Good
Wait,
point.
wait.
Yeah, good. No, that's a good point.
None of these, no rapper in history can really go toe to toe with Eminem.
No.
So why would MGK go toe to toe? Because he has to represent. Like, for us, we'd be like, we're thinking he's getting murdered by Eminem, but for the kids, he's like, he's my hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know that these old school rappers are really strong with words, but they can't vibe like we do.
He would have
Like,
livened up his fan base like immediately, and people would have thrown support behind him. But then, again, go back to Eminem being one of the greatest of all time. He's got a larger support, right? A support system, like, and people with influence
Yeah.
in that industry, right? So
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Like, before we move on, I heard part of The Ringer, which is one of the songs on Eminem's album, where he calls people out. And I just took a snippet of what he said, and it just made me think of MGK, what Machine Gun Kelly is doing right away. He says, to give a subpar bar, even have an opinion of you. You mention me, millions of views, attention in news. I mention you, lose-lose for me, win-win for you. Right?
but it's
That's
true.
MGK?
This is Eminem.
Talking about
Millions of views, your 10 cents are 2. Skim through the music to give shit reviews. To get clicks. But bitch, you just lit a fuse.
You know what you sound like? What this all sounds like?
Yeah.
It sounds like the Mad Hatter, talking in rhyme and stuff like that. You know how silly
We've
that
gone down
sounds?
the rabbit hole
Yeah.
for sure.
But did you ever see, there was an interview that Eminem did back in the day with Anderson Cooper. And he pulls out a shoebox, and there's just a bunch of lyrics in it. And he's like, this is where I just put my thoughts and my words and stuff like that. And then Anderson Cooper says, the last time I saw someone do this, they were in an insane asylum. And then he just kind of, like, Mad Hatter-ish, just kind of went, I guess I'm a little crazy. Like that.
But isn't he an artist? Isn't true
Yeah.
art?
Thin line.
Yeah. So what's the person saying?
So Chef Henry, shout out to Chef Henry, he's saying MGK needs this so bad so he can get some type of hype because everyone thought MGK was dead. So laugh out loud. Good for him for coming back, but now you'll have to face the GOAT on a whole song, not just a line.
Can we throw this out there too? Eminem has now gone after all these SoundCloud rappers and the people that are connecting with today's youth. Does that not make it possible now for Eminem to connect with today's youth? They're now going to listen to his music in hopes of getting fired up for their favorite rapper or their favorite artist. Did he just connect with a generation that probably would have been hard for him to connect with, being older than most of the rappers he's going in against? I think this is a great play on his part too.
I think that's a really good point. The only thing with it that I think he's coming on as being the angry old man.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than some of the kids seeing that what you're saying makes a lot of sense,
Right.
they might just take it very defensively.
But they're going to click. And Eminem used to sell a lot of CDs back in the day, but the game has changed completely. CDs and cassettes. There's
Yes.
some cassettes of his, I'm sure. But he just went in there, and then now all of a sudden he's getting clicks on all of the songs that he's put up on YouTube and music videos, because though they might not have listened to him, maybe there's some old school songs that they would have liked from him. Now they're going to listen to it just because he's talking about their favorite artist.
Interesting.
I mean, it might be his way of
Connecting.
making more money and connecting with today's generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't recommend it. As a teacher who tries to reconnect with today's generation all the time, it's best not to freestyle them. He'll be okay though.
Oh man, jokes, man. All right, click the like button for the conversation so far. So let's start getting into the nitty gritty. But before we move forward with that, the NFL season starts on Thursday. So, just quick off the top of your head, Rob. I don't know if you've been watching a little bit. I've kind of been watching a little bit. Who am I kidding? I'm a fantasy football addict. But
You are.
who do you have in the Super Bowl? The last two teams standing, and who wins it?
The NFL and the NFL.
Well done. Well done.
They're
sir.
the real winners here.
Yep. I think we're the. Anyways, I don't believe in watching the NFL. I'm totally against it.
Really?
I think it's become a political platform, and we're letting ourselves be played one way or another.
If
So-
you buy into the politicizing of it.
I don't know about if you buy into it. Regardless, it is what it is.
Would you say it's easier to dissociate yourself from the politics of the NFL if you're not in the States?
I don't know. I think for me, it's more like what it represents. Usually, people are not fighting because it's blue or red. They're fighting because it's the ideologies that they believe in.
Mm-hmm.
The ideologies, people die for that type of stuff.
Mhm.
You know, they will sacrifice everything for ideologies,
Yeah.
which are really things that other people invented and say this is the way. Hashtag Sapiens.
Nicely done.
Yeah, we're not getting paid by Sapiens.
I don't care. I think it's mandatory reading.
But I think I agree with you. It's easier to disassociate yourself with the arguments that are happening if you're not an American citizen or living there right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So in that case, I guess no predictions on our end.
What, we're not having any predictions?
No, I'm
go
not.
for it.
I'm
Okay,
not.
actually,
I'm
so
not.
so what are your predictions?
I got to think the Patriots are in.
Ugh.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I mean, if you're going to go with the odds, they're the team every year that you know is going to represent the AFC, or at least their own division. They've won it 11 years straight, whatever it is. Yeah. The NFC. Can we get a Philly? No, Atlanta, New England, repeat Super Bowl.
Okay.
Tom Brady is up by 28 points in the fourth quarter. Matt Ryan comes back to beat him in overtime.
Nice.
That's what I want to see.
Nice. I like that. I
Brady
like
versus
that.
Ryan 2.
I like that. I like that.
At
So
NFL
basically, like
167.
the opposite of what happened last year.
And
2 years ago.
2 years
2
ago.
years ago, yeah.
And then
To a brief hiatus.
and then Brady breaks his phone and stabs a bunch of balls.
Jesus. Footballs.
Footballs. Man, you know what? I was gonna agree with Chef Henry. He said Jaguars, Packers.
Jaguars? Really?
I like them. But you know what? I was actually thinking more Steelers and
Yeah, I don't think that anyone's...
if Bell comes back, Steelers and I'd go Packers. If Aaron stays healthy, they actually have a good defense.
They revamped their O-line, too.
So
in
there you
Green
go.
Bay.
Yeah, well, they have no choice. You gotta protect your investment,
Yeah.
right? So anyway, with that being said, in terms of the NFL predictions, what's been circulating through the news and has been huge for the last day or two is that Colin Kaepernick, who has been pretty much blackballed from the NFL after the whole kneeling for social injustice protest, he's been named the face of Nike's 30th anniversary campaign.
Yeah. Bold move. Let's see how it plays out
Which
for
is
them,
a
Cotton.
huge move.
Yeah.
It's a huge move. What are your thoughts on that?
What are my thoughts?
What are your
I
thoughts?
love it. I love it. When I saw it come across as the social media on my phone, I just pictured so many people that I disagree with getting livid and angry at home, and then the videos of people burning their Nike shoes kills me. It's actually the logic that I saw about it is when a player gets like when Colin Kaepernick was burning, when he was taking the knee and people were burning their jerseys. People were going out and buying the jersey just to burn it.
Yep.
So jersey sales were up and the NFL wins yet again. You know what I mean? So, and Nike's not stupid. Nike stuck by Tiger Woods, where nobody stuck by Tiger Woods. Nike kept Kaepernick on that list. Now all of a sudden, like I heard this a long time ago. I can't remember his name, but he is a black journalist living in Canada who won, I want to say, a Pulitzer for his article about being stopped and carded. But I watched the documentary with my class, and in it he says, watch, in 50 years from now, there will be a Colin Kaepernick kneeling statue outside of the San Fran Stadium.
Yep.
Time will always put people like this that are villainized, that are trying to make change, will always put them in a better light, and he deserves to be, right? I mean, there's so many people that are coming out and saying, oh, well, now he's making it about money, he's using his stance to be represented by Nike. That's BS. He was already represented by Nike. Nike stuck by him and was trying to find a way to still use him, because, I mean, they're trying to get a return on their money for paying an athlete. He's not an athlete anymore. Now, we'll go back to connecting with this generation. Nike's not making money by selling shoes to old men that don't work out. They're making money by selling multiple shoes to people of this generation that tend to recognize and identify with Colin Kaepernick's statement. Yeah. So, bold move by Nike. I think it's going to work out for them, Cotton.
You know what's funny, too? And Henry just made a great point. He's like, I don't see anyone burning their Jordans.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Air Monarchs. They're burning the Air Monarchs. Yeah.
And the other point too,
the dad shoes.
Yeah, and the thing that we've heard a lot too is that, you know, why don't they go give their Nikes away? Why don't they give them away instead of burning them and give them to homeless people?
Well, think about the people that would burn their shoes on this protest. Not exactly your most giving person who has any perspective other than their own.
But aren't they?
That's a big moth.
I know, but aren't they patriots? Like, so shouldn't they be giving them to, like, the homeless vets that aren't being taken care of?
So yeah, there's a lot of hypocrisy from the people that I see arguing against this. But.
Yeah, and you know, here's the other thing before you get into it, Rob. What was funny is that Nike's been in the news a couple of times for, you know, using child workers and having issues with their actual employees, and mistreating them and stuff like that. But this is what has outraged people. You know what I mean? So kudos to Nike. And the thing that I like is the irony in it all, because it's almost like karma, right? Like, you blackball them. NFL is one of the biggest sponsors of the NFL. Nike is one of the biggest sponsors of the NFL.
Now, are they the official jersey supplier?
I think it's Adidas, if I'm not wrong.
Because I feel like they haven't been for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And I feel that's probably a move on Nike to say, well, we don't really care what the NFL thinks, right? NFL is like Walmart when it comes to brand recognition, right? Walmart determines what they're going to sell your product for. The NFL determines who's going to buy jerseys based on whatever company they're working with, right? Exactly. Whether it be Rydell or probably not Rydell, but Under Armour or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to determine who's going to make the jerseys and buy them. And if Nike's been left out in the cold, well.
But Nike sells more than Under Armour.
Yeah, Under Armour's not.
Like, in terms of, like, shoes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The NFL.
Nike's the number one athletic wear company in the world.
Dominate.
Right.
They dominate.
Yeah. My opinion on this is this.
Thanks.
Sorry, bro.
It's from a branding standpoint. I feel like for people to feel that way about a brand like Nike, it just shows just how powerful brands can actually be in our lives. That, like, Nike's not the government. Doesn't have that real jurisdiction in our lives, but we're giving it that much.
Yeah.
And Nike's has always done, like, a wonderful job partnering with up-and-coming athletes, but up-and-coming great athletes. And people who are, at times, polarizing figures in the world.
That attract attention.
When Jordan came out in '84, when he came to the NBA in '84, he was wearing the white, red, and black Jordans. At that time, you could only have one color on your shoe. So they were paying the fine that Jordan was getting to be different. To move culture and to move society in a different way. I was going to say forward, but I'm not sure if that's the case. So they stood by him, and they, to a point where they made billions. So I don't think Nike's in the I think Nike's is in it in the long run, and they're in it for money, like it or not.
That's the only reason they're in it.
Yeah.
That's
So-
they're run by CEOs and COOs, CFOs. Their only job is to watch bottom line, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Colin Kaepernick might be the long-term plan. Because imagine if Adidas or someone else got with Muhammad Ali and stuck by him, especially during the hard times.
Right.
They would be like everything that he wore during that time would be associated with a certain timeline and with greatness,
Yeah.
right?
But Colin Kaepernick is not going to come back and have a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, but look at what's his name, Kevin Hart. His line is doing pretty good.
Okay.
So they're investing in things that are not just athletics.
Which is great, right?
Yeah.
Like they're expanding. I get that. So he would be the face of that.
Because like you're talking about this generation. In terms of branding, this generation has been like the most socially and environmentally conscious
Yeah, I agree with
demographic in
Yep.
a long time.
For sure.
Brands cannot sell unless they show that they care about something.
Yep.
And Nike going with a person that is like the epitome of caring about a particular issue
Yep.
is all about that.
So
Right.
it's the ideologies are being taught by brands as opposed to just institutions as they were in the past in our generation.
So I think brands are piggybacking on how people are feeling,
Okay.
and they're just like they're associating with Colin Kaepernick, but it's not really the person. It's really the ideology.
Yeah, okay.
Ideology
Yeah,
that
for sure.
the people want.
Yep.
It's not just because it's out of the goodness of their heart. It's really more like it just makes damn good business sense. Just like it made damn good business sense to abolish slavery at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not just
Yeah, the majority of the population was not going to start supporting companies that still engage in slavery, and that was why the Civil War happens, right? The South needed it to stay up. The North did not need it anymore. They had been industrialized, right? But that's very true. And although it seems kind of, like, I mean, if you think about it, Colin Kaepernick is now going to be the face of Nike's 30th anniversary. They're going to sell lots of shoes using Colin Kaepernick's face and his image and what he stands for. Has it all been convoluted now? His original point of kneeling? Like, I feel the minute other players started kneeling, his message was no longer his message. And it was a movement and, like you said, an ideology for a generation.
I don't think Colin Kaepernick saw it and sees it as this is my message. I think it's just a message. And like if he takes ownership of it, then I have a problem with that.
Yeah, I don't think he took ownership,
Yeah,
right?
and I don't think he did either. But like the message is the most important thing, and what he's doing, like he's documented to do a lot of things with the money. It's not just I'm a superstar, super athlete. I'm making all these money, and I'm having gold chains made in my honor. This is somebody that stands for something bigger than that. He's using a lot of the money to do something else
Right.
with it. There's a commercial I wanna post on the page. It's friggin' awesome. It's by Colin Kaepernick. When he left Seattle to go to San Francisco, he was sponsored by Beats back then.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
commercial
it
is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It says, "Hear what you want," by Beats. It's like everybody hating on Cap back then, before the fro, before everything.
And he was one of the first to pay the fine. Beats would pay the fine because Bose was the official supplier of
The NFL.
Of the NFL. He would get Beats would pay his fine because he was one of the number one faces for Beats by Dre.
Exactly.
Right? So when he would walk around, he would get fined every time he was seen on TV wearing Beats and not Bose.
And great advertising.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Fantastic.
because it
Worth
ends up,
the fine.
It ends up being the drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
Right,
And
so-
it's funny if you see this commercial, you'll think it's like Tupac. What's the word? Prophétiser.
Oh, like prophesizing?
Yeah, his own death.
Yeah.
So he's showing
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
wow,
commercial
yeah, that's true.
all the hate that he gets. That was before the kneeling. So he's somebody who's used to this. And he's somebody that can actually take on the burden.
And it sounds like he's always had that, I guess, skill set of kind of speaking his mind, regardless of what others around him. He's always been socially just. Can we say that? He's a social justice warrior,
Yeah.
if we want to use that term. But he's always had that. And good on him, right? In the end, he's going to get paid well.
Yeah.
Like he's been paid this whole time, but he's going to get paid really well.
I find the thing with Colin Kaepernick, and we'll move on soon, but I've always found that like there's an interesting element to Colin Kaepernick, the fact that he's half black, half white. You know what I mean? Like if this was just a white person doing it, or just a black person doing it, like how would it be received, right? Versus now, it's like, he is the personification of a division in terms of being polarized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got the flip side where people are like, yeah, good job, Nike. Yeah, good job, Colin. Yeah, good job. And then you got the other flip side that are like, well, you are making millions of dollars and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, no, he actually sacrificed that to stand for something he cares about. So then they're mad at him. So I always found it interesting that, what if it was just a white guy who was saying this, or just a black guy, not a guy that's half. You know what I'm saying?
But like, so I want to make 2 points before we wrap up. The race thing is very, very real, but at the same time, I don't think it's just a matter of black and white. It's a matter of like personal beliefs. And when you attack somebody's personal beliefs, no matter how right you might be or how wrong you might be, nobody wants to feel like you're saying that they're stupid. When you're telling them that they're wrong, or you telling them that they're like what they're standing for is stupid, you're never gonna win the argument. You're just gonna make me want to take a stronger stance on my ignorance. Or
People dig in stronger when they're opposed. Yeah.
Yeah. But the other thing is, like Trump, if nobody cares of what you're saying or doing, then that's the real problem. For Nike, people are caring a lot about this. So business is good. It's when you don't matter anymore.
How many?
But hold on.
How
I think
many
we're
times?
overlooking-
How many times do you think the word Nike has been said in the last 48 hours?
I don't think it's trending at all.
But on the topic of Trump, I think we're moving on. But I'm just going to say this: the opposite is true. It's very easy for us at this table to see Kaepernick and say, "Wow, they're going to sell a lot of shoes because people are going to connect with them." But Donald Trump was a brand and still is a brand, but he's not supposed to be in charge of it. But his kids are, or whatever. How many white frat boys in the southern United States have been buying Trump golf shirts and Trump ties? It's the same thing, albeit it's very foreign to our thinking, right?
Yeah.
He is a brand in every way, and when he stands up and says something vile that makes everyone that we see eye to eye with sick to their stomach, people go out and buy his stuff and support him even more, because it's not about what he's saying, whether or not they believe it. They just see that it angers people they disagree with.
Yeah.
Right? And it goes back to that opposing, and if you don't see people with the right line of thinking, then it's never going to end.
I agree. Like, I look, like most liberal thinking people, I do think that what Trump is doing is appalling. But coming from a branding standpoint, I'm like, yo, dude is
genius.
He's a genius.
That's the presidency was a business move for him in many ways, and for his friends.
Yeah.
But I guess it is for any presidents, right? It's anyone in a position of political leadership is going to benefit somehow.
Somehow, but I don't think George W. benefited a lot. That's towards the end.
No. His name and likeness was, although it's looking pretty good now. Like, it's bad when I see George W. Bush on TV and I go, you know what? He was a disgusting warmonger, but he was our warmonger. Like we connected with that warmonger.
He was naively stupid.
Yeah, he was W, and you know what?
W.
He wasn't evil. He was just naive, and he seemed like a guy you can go fishing with and have a great story. Trump just seems like a villain.
Yeah. But W was a very good movie. I don't know if you guys watched it.
Yeah, I watched it.
Josh Brolin?
Josh Brolin was good in it.
Yeah, really, really good.
But you know, in Sapiens, they say that usually it's not the good guy that ends up rewriting the world; it's the assholes.
Yeah, history,
Sounds right.
history, right?
Sounds
His
about right.
story,
Sounds about right.
the victor.
Any water?
Yes, please.
Yes. So, click the like button, you guys. Sorry again.
That was a pretty good discussion.
Yeah,
that was lengthy.
sorry again about the technical difficulty, but again, if you're watching this later, by all means, throw some comments out there for sure.
Any comments?
We got a couple.
quiet
They were
today.
basically saying, because we lost feed. So the thing is, they were saying CFL jerseys. It's Adidas, Nike, NFL,
Oh,
and they
okay.
actually just. So, I think it was Henry who just said they signed Nike signed an 8-year deal with the NFL last year.
Oh, so they're good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're good.
They can do
They're
whatever
good.
they like
Yeah.
now.
You want to be in breach of contract with Nike, NFL?
Who's bigger?
Yeah. Bring your lawyers, I'll bring mine.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And Lana was saying, so they're getting the best of both worlds right now. Speaking of Nike,
Right.
And
Yeah.
yes, essentially they are. They are. So moving right along, we're almost done here, people.
Don't say that.
So Charles Barkley had a very
Ooh.
interesting.
Charles Barkley is like a Trump to me, by the way.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a different guy.
he's got some interesting things to say from time to time. But this one caught my attention because it's not political or anything like that. He said, money ruins all your relationships. No matter what you do for your family, it's never enough. All your friends think because you're rich, you should bail them out of every situation. The only time I had any peace and quiet was on the basketball court.
From a man who went bankrupt due to gambling.
Yes. This is
It's always easy to find excuses when you are probably to blame for 80% of your wealth lost in that situation.
Well, here's my question. Do you think that people who have friends and family or whatever, and should people pay for different things for friends and family when they're making more money than them?
Yeah. I think you should always be taking care of your family, and it doesn't have to be in a monetary way,
Mm.
right? Like family looks out for family, and that's why we have family. Not everyone is blessed with many family members. You never know a person's situation, but if you have a family member that is wealthy and has come about it honestly, et cetera, I do think that there should be some help for other family members, but it shouldn't be expected, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if I win the lotto tomorrow, my closest family and friends can expect some help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it goes. But at the same time, I'm going to look out for me and mine first in the future, right? Like, my children. Like, to me, the number one family you got to look out for is your children.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I think the biggest thing with that is expectation.
Yeah.
Right? Like, expectation is important. It's like, if I win the lotto, you don't expect that if you go out with someone that, hey, they're gonna pay,
Right.
right? Because when you look at the documentary on ESPN, 30 for 30 broke.
Yeah.
What they said, one of the number one reasons people went broke was because family that came out of the woodwork with a handout.
Well, but that's what I'm saying, right? Looking out for family and friends, sure. But I bet you Charles Barkley, in his experience, had a lot of third cousins that were his best friends all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's on him, and also his gambling.
Yes.
Speaking of gambling, my experience with that is this: I'm not a gambler, and I'm not too big on certain vices like alcohol, drugs. Like, for some reason,
YOLO.
I live, but for some reasons I just can't shake certain things off of me.
Okay.
Like, we went to the Hall casino,
Yeah.
and this old Haitian lady was playing on the blackjack table, and saw me playing, and saw that I was really just throwing money away. In my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna spend $50 just for fun, to like price I gotta pay to play. And she's like, oh, if you do this, you might win, you know. So I ended up giving her my money so she could play. This, with like $50, she won me like $400. I was really
You
happy.
got her number, right? You got her number, I hope?
I was really happy. I hope so.
She's an old Haitian lady. First of all, I'm like, what is an old Haitian lady doing at a casino at this time? So I was very
Making you money.
I was,
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I was scared of that money, to be honest with you. I'm like, this is not my money. Like, my
Yeah.
dad has always shown my brothers and I to work hard for our money. So I'm like, this $400 doesn't really belong to me. So I went there with a few friends of mine. We were like maybe 4. You know what I did? I took like $200 or $300 out of that, and I split it amongst each other.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
we're there to have a
gambling
good.
with you. You and that Haitian lady.
Yeah,
They all
but,
circled
but
back,
to me,
yeah.
I'm there to have a good time with my friends. So I split it, And actually, I lie. It was like I gave everybody $50.
Okay.
Okay, and I kept the rest.
Still fair.
Yeah, and
What about the Haitian woman?
I gave her some money.
Okay,
I
good,
gave her
good,
some money.
Good.
So one of these guys that was with us, it was like the first time I met him and we were all rolling together. I give him $50. He goes plays the machine, and he wins like $50. Like, and everybody comes around him, right? Like the machine is going ching ching and all that, all the dimes are coming down, you know. And his friend who brought him along, he's like, "Yo, so you're gonna split it?" You know what this dude says? He's like, "Fuck no, that's my money." I was like, "Oh, money really really not changes, amplifies who you truly are."
Yeah, I can see
Like that was the scariest thing I saw. Like that dude transformed so hard. Like money will mess things up.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
it messes up the world.
Yeah.
Wars are fought, right, over money. It's probably the most driving force there is for conflict and things like that. So when you take an average person who gets money they weren't counting on and gets it in an exciting way with bells and whistles and lights going off, they're going to be protective of it, I feel. Unless they're you, a good person, sharing the wealth.
I think if you're a generous person, you gain some success, you'll be even more generous. If you're not a good person and you gain some success, you'll be double that of what you were before.
Well,
that's my personal belief.
I was reading something the other day about this. So the wealthy in our society, and like the wealthy elite, not like, you know, upper middle class, someone who's a small business owner and has good money and goes on vacation. I'm talking about the people that never have to worry about money for them, their kids, etc. Those people throughout history have always said it's a divine right? So they were noble, they were kings, they were queens, they had land, they were wealthy, noble people that were at a higher order in society, and they had the feeling that this was given to me by God, it's divine right, everyone else should work and help me. But you get into today's day and age where that's not really the mindset. Like, we don't have nobles, we just have really wealthy people that control things. It's always the same thing. Well, I worked hard for this money. And in many cases, yes, that's true, but the majority of the wealthy elite that we know today are inheriting their money, or they're getting a lot of startup money, i.e. the President of the United States, who said, I got a small loan of whatever it was, $2 million or whatever. $1 million to start my real estate company. Well, $1 million back then is like 20 now. And he started a real estate company in the largest real estate market in the world. But there's this assumption that they worked hard for it. So it used to be, well, we didn't even work hard for it. But divine rule has said that this is me, I'm rich, I'm better than you, you're to serve me. You believe in God, I believe in God, and we both believe that this is the case. Now, you'll see people that are not wealthy or don't come from means that think that, oh no, they worked hard, they got that. If only I can get an education, or if only I could start up a company and be famous and wealthy and successful like that person. Whereas the odds are the majority of people are not going to be part of that because it's the way society is structured. But they seem to think that they worked hard for it, and some have. I'm not going to discredit anyone that has from the ground up. But many are inheriting wealth from generations before them, which is true wealth, and they have that thought. And it's the same thing as it was given to me in a divine way.
Yeah, and I don't believe in none of that. I think wealth, I mean, is a good thing, but also could be a bad thing. Just like anything else, with moderation.
Right.
Like, it doesn't make sense that 1% owns all the wealth of everything.
Yeah.
Right? But also, I think we're playing the game. Like you said, I believe in God, you believe in God, so we both believe that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
But what if we decide that it doesn't need to be that way?
Right, we could do that. But the problem is the person who's benefiting the most often doesn't want to change things.
Of course.
And that person has more means, more resources to stop you from changing the way things are.
Yes, but they also want you to believe that.
Right. Yeah, good point.
Like, everything is based on somebody coming up with an idea and convincing others
100%,
of that.
yeah.
So, yeah, anyway.
Cool. Great combo. So, almost wrapped up, but here's the meat and potatoes, guys.
Oh, God.
So click the like button, because this is the meat and potatoes, the one that people have been waiting for.
Wait, I want to say something. I want to confess something.
Uh-oh.
There's this guy back in high school. We're pretty good friends.
Mm-hmm.
He, I'm gonna sound like such a douchebag. because I am.
Let's hear it.
He loaned me $50 in high school, like for prom or something like that. And I had the money. I don't know why. And my dad works hard, and I could ask him for money. He would give it to me. And I don't know why I asked him for the money, but he gave it to me. And one day, he sends one of like a mutual friend to come ask me to give him the money. Because of that, I'm like, forget it. I ain't paying him nothing.
Wow.
But
The principle of it.
yeah, but now that I'm like old as balls, hashtag, I want to apologize. That was a really, douchebag move on my part and also on your part. But I'll be the bigger man to say, yo, I'm sorry. Whenever I see you, I'll give you that $50 back.
With interest.
With no interest.
With no interest. You're not a bank. You're not a bank.
I'm
That's
not
fair.
a bank.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. No, I like that. So, moving on. So a singer by the name of Jessie Reyes just came out with a song last week called Body Count. Now, for those who are not familiar with the term body count,
I wasn't until this song.
so body count refers to the number of people you have been with intimately in the biblical sense, as a whole, total.
Being very promiscuous.
Yeah, well, no, it's just body count. If you can have a body count of 1, that doesn't make it promiscuous.
So maybe your body count determines your promiscuity. We'll see.
Yes.
That. Okay.
So the question is, does a person's body count affect you're wanting to be in a relationship with them?
Don't save her.
She don't want to be saved. Don't save her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. But hold on a second here. Hold on a second. How are we going to finish with this question? It's
No.
so loaded.
No.
So loaded.
Hey.
How is it? Okay, well, hold on a second here. Let's keep in mind we are 3 men talking about something that doesn't really affect us the same way it would affect women.
Preach on that. So what do you mean?
Okay, body count.
Mm-hmm.
How would a man be seen in society, in our society, if that body count was high or low? And then flip it, put 3 women in this seat, and how would they feel talking about this topic? Would
Damn, homie.
I'm
in high school, you was the man, homie.
right, exactly.
It's a
but,
double standard.
But hold on. So the more women a man is with, determines their masculinity, as applied to heterosexual men. Are we going to take into account the transgender? Mm-hmm. Are we going to take into account a homosexual man? Mm-hmm. How many men they've been with? Mm-hmm. This is a loaded topic. Like when I saw the question, I'm like, Jet, you can't expect this to be a quick question.
I think
Because
Who said it was going to be a quick question? That's why I asked.
Okay, good.
you
Well, that's the last
might
question.
be stretching it
No,
further than it has to be.
it doesn't.
And I'll explain why.
Okay,
I
let's
think
hear it.
whether or not you're in a homosexual relationship or regular heterosexual relationship,
Right.
I think most people might feel some type of way, whether for or against
That number.
that number.
Okay. All right.
'Cause-
Which makes sense. I get that. So a person's personal beliefs about that, but I'm talking about how people are perceived based on that body count,
Well-
which you led into
well-
with that song.
No, but here's the thing, right? Like, so Ty's already saying a lot of comments actually are being said.
Pete Hogarth got something for
Pete
us.
Hoagie said, if you can't handle the answer, don't ask the question.
That's what the
Okay.
song said.
Yeah, exactly. But then you also have, people who say in general, everybody could do what they want to do. Like, who cares? But yes, it is different between men and women for sure,
Right.
for sure. Like when I see that situation in terms of body count, some people will look at it and be like, yeah, I like someone experienced, so I'm okay with that. While other people be like, they're tainted.
But I feel like that's such a if you had a dating profile, you don't put body count down. Why? Because that should be the last thing someone's concerned about when they're getting to know someone in an intimate way and getting to know someone going forward. Now, I'm sure that comes out over time when people talk and they get to know each other a little bit more. But people don't go on a first date and say, this is how many people I've been intimate with, and
people
vice
do.
versa. That wouldn't be a good idea. I also think it's like Pete said, it's 2018. can't be slut shaming people, and you can't also shame people for not being experienced.
Well, there's slut shaming, but also there's that thing that you share intimately with your intimate partner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's such a weird feeling to go around and like coming into a new friend circle because of your new partner,
Right.
and everybody around that partner has had a piece of your partner. That's kind of like a weird feeling.
But hold on. A piece of your partner. So they've taken something from you.
Well, not from me, but from that person.
But it's
but if
you
they,
don't own that person.
I don't own that person.
Right.
But if okay, I'm in the belief that every time, like, you give a little bit of yourself every time,
Okay.
and I'd love for something to be special to me, and everybody has had that something special, where I feel like I may not be the only one that feels this special. That's because I'm very selfish, like
Okay.
most people are.
Okay.
And I'd love to feel special, like most people would do. And the idea of body count might make you feel that you may not be as special.
So are we saying that right now, and that feeling that you have, is that a product of you, the person, or a product of how society has told us men should feel about this and how women should feel about this?
I think it's both. Feelings like jealousy
Mhm.
is created by, it's amplified by society,
Right.
but and I also think it's something that's felt
Okay.
naturally. Like,
Inadequacy or
yes,
or lack of confidence as a result of
And-
it. Sure. Yep.
all sorts of insecurities.
Mhm.
That, and I also do believe we all feel insecure in certain ways or others,
Yeah.
right? Like, there's some people who might feel very okay, like, dude, no problem.
Right.
But some other people might associate their worth towards something like that.
And for me, I feel that's their thing to get over.
But based on who?
True. But I'm just saying that, and that, like, a person can't get angry over it, is what I'm saying.
Well, no.
Like, I feel like society's created this, like, it's an actual stigma or it's a thing. You can't say to a friend that you're just making, hey, I've had this many best friends before you. You know what I mean?
But you say society has made that, but without society, there's no this, there's
Oh,
no
yeah,
us.
yeah, for sure.
And
I'm saying
because
we can change it.
because we're social beings, we have to have some sort of system or some sort of belief that keeps us together.
But we can change that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, we can. We can.
There's some
Let,
good
let,
comments
let's
there.
change a few 100,000 years of this type of stuff.
We've done it.
We've done it
Yeah.
before.
We've done it before.
So Ty Louie said, I have never asked my wife her body count, and she has never asked me. Those are interactions that took place before I was in the picture. If it weren't for those interactions, who knew if we would have even met?
Love it.
That's great. That's great. But
That's-
at the same time, I feel like it's important for me to express myself wholly to my partner, so they could have a really good idea of who I am.
Oh, that's
Based-
okay if you want to
based-
share it, for sure.
Based on who I've been in the past.
Yeah.
You know, like, we go through a journey of trying to uncover one another, including
Literally.
trying to uncover who I am as an individual, like the self, right? But how do you get to know that without getting to know what made you do, or what makes you who you are today?
Right.
Yeah.
By ignoring the past.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the most responsible thing to do.
Well, I brought this point up with a friend, and the other thing that they were saying were, like, people go through phases in life,
Yeah.
right? So, you know, I guess
Like children.
yeah, but I mean, like, let's just say, you know, at some point you were lower or you were down, and, like, some people, this is gonna sound awful, fill the void with that.
Absolutely.
So they went through a period where that's all they did or whatever. That doesn't mean anything. It just, that was a period in their life. It is what it is. So people, especially in our society, like, people can be judged on a period in their life, right? Like, and you think about it, like, someone could live for 80 years and just be, you know, like, a dictator for, like, 2 of them, and they're called a dictator. You know what I mean? No, not at all.
What? So unrelatable, but I love it.
What?
I love it. I love it.
Oh, so, you know, it's like, I tried coke that one time in college.
Oh
Does that
my
make me a
God.
cokehead? Oh, I did it once in like 60 years. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think we're getting way off topic with this idea.
Cocaine's cool.
No, it's not.
Say no to
It's
drugs.
dangerous.
It's
It is
terrible.
dangerous, and it should be
I'm
controlled.
joking, children. It's not funny.
There are children watching this. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think the idea of a body count. There's so many people that, and Pete said it. I'm more concerned about people slut shaming or stigmatizing people that have been intimate with more people than what would be deemed the norm for whatever society, right? I mean,
Yeah,
if you were living in downtown New York City, in Manhattan, the body count is probably a higher number as
Did you watch
opposed to
Sex
someone
and the
living.
City yesterday or something?
No, I'm just saying. I haven't done the research on it.
Based on statistics?
Based on statistics and HBO, I think Manhattan, the body count number would be higher than, let's say, Bible Belt country in the U.S. But at the end of the day, quit dictator shaming, Kevin. Sorry, Pete. You're right. You are right. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, people shouldn't be held in a negative way for this. And I like Ty saying, you wouldn't be who you are today without the experiences you had, both positive and negative.
Yep.
So in the spirit of that, it's good to share that, I think, with an intimate partner, if that's what's in place. But I think some people might not be able to handle, the feelings of inadequacy. But I like what Pete had said earlier. If you think about those feelings of inadequacy, that's something that someone has to work to improve on.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it be in that realm or in the realm of sport or life or academics, you have to always be trying your best to improve on the things that you feel you need to improve on. And if it's something that gives you a negative feeling, that's on you, not your partner.
Yeah.
Right?
And we got a couple of comments here. Rosie said, your age is a big factor regarding your body count.
It's always nice when my mom chimes in on the body count conversation.
What?
Yeah, always nice.
For that, we're sending you the leftover cheesecake. They're delicious by
she keto
Oh
too?
My Cheesecake.
Is she keto too?
Sorry, Ty. We need to stir this pot.
Yeah.
We had promised we would stir this pot and get Jethro mad. We didn't.
Oh, but
We failed.
and Ty also said it's whatever works between you and your partner.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you end up with someone and they're like, "Tell me your body count," you're like, "You don't want to know my body count," and then it turns into like an argument, then you might not want to be together because down the road it'll be worse.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Honesty is always the key to a good relationship. I read it on the back of a napkin.
Yeah, honesty. That's another topic.
Uh-oh.
What, the fact that people want honesty but not the truth? Bum 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 bum. That sounds like a t-shirt.
Ask a kid. Tip of
Ask
the
a
day.
kid.
Tip of the day. Maybe don't ask a kid about body count. That's weird.
But you know what? They'll probably tell you something interesting, man. Say, would you would you go out, aka hold hands with so and so, even if she or he has held hands with every other girl? I think kids would be
Yeah, that's
okay
true.
with that. I don't think they would have.
I think they'd look at you like you're crazy. Kids. I think the honesty from a child would show that we're the ones with the issue with this.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
and like every other thing, I think it's been created as part of some sort of control system to keep people in check, in line, and keep powers, centralized.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh, great convo, you guys. And since we were talking about kids, let's wrap up with this topic. For most
With
people,
the best teacher in the world, Mr. Kelly.
Mr. Kevin Kelly.
Please. Thank
So-
you. Please. Do you know any other teachers though?
No, none that I liked.
Yes. I made it into the good books.
Oh man.
No, I have to take that back. Okay. Bill Garbarino, who was the program coordinator at Algonquin College, he's still my homie. Yeah.
Cool.
And Lori Logan too.
Cool. No, I've had a couple of nice ones too, so I can't hate on all teachers. I had teachers that challenged me, which was good. I like that. I like teachers that challenge you. Kind of like, in the Talladega Nights, when the mom yells at the kids and she's like, and they're like, "We've been tamed."
Yeah.
It was one of those. It was one of those. Like I'll never forget. I had a teacher, Mr. Gillis, and you go into class, grade 10, like it's math class, and it's just you're a bit of a smart ass going in, and the first thing he says, he's like, 1 in 3 of you will fail my class, and I was like, this guy's serious. All right, I'm stopping right now, and he was one of my favorites.
He
one
doesn't
of my
play.
favorites.
He doesn't play.
We don't play that. We don't play that.
So what's the school topic? What are we
So
doing
the school
here?
topic is just back when you were a student.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of going back to school?
Ooh. I think it's the same thing now as a teacher. I don't sleep on Christmas Eve, and I don't sleep the night before school starts.
Why?
I just can't sleep.
Why?
I'm so excited. When I was a kid and as a student, I was excited to see what teachers I had, see the friends that you don't necessarily see over the summer, wear your new outfit that you bought as a teacher. I can't wait to meet my students. Like, I got 90 kids that are going to kind of shape my days for the next 5 months. Kind of hope I got some good ones. Kind of hope the classes are good. Can't wait to start things fresh. I used to love that feeling. So the night before, actually weeks before, you still get it now. But the dreams you used to have as a kid of, like, you forgot your locker combination or you're late for class and you're in trouble, you get those now as a teacher, even though you're not a student anymore. So just going back to school, I get those same dreams. Every other teacher knows what I'm talking about when it comes to that. I just love the excitement around a new school year. Today was difficult. I was in a portable. It was like 36 degrees. I'm fighting a bit of a head cold right now, but it was still an awesome first day because it's the start of a new semester. New kids, they're all great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there's something you said I got to address,
Okay.
Kevin.
Yeah.
You said that hopefully you get good ones. What makes up a good student to
It's
you?
not a good student because every kid is different. It's a good collection of students that make a class fun. And I've said that. I say that to every single class. If we can pull together our strengths and work on our weaknesses together as a class, this will be fun. But then sometimes you get the classes where kids don't work well together. For me, it's the ones that are cliquey. And you don't get a lot of it nowadays. It sounds weird, but most kids are connected. It's not like in our day where there are social groups that are cut off from the rest of their grade level because they all follow each other on social media. They all know what the other person is doing. The gossip spreads quicker, which is probably bad actually for bullying and harassment, things like that. But to make it a little bit more cohesive, kids today, there really aren't the same cliques that we remember. Kids are walking across the room, talking with someone that I haven't seen them talk with all semester. They're making friends. That I love. Sometimes you don't get that group. You get a collection of students that each individual student is still good on their own, but together as a class, they're not the best.
Reminds me of the 21 Jump Street, the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. What
but-
about you?
What was the question?
What was your favorite part of back to
Oh,
school when you
dude.
were a kid?
Looking fly, like with my new shoes, my new clothes, and seeing who looks good. Who should I be going after this year? That's
Wow,
what I
sound
remember.
like a hunter.
Wow, yeah, that was very predatory.
Predatory. Jeez.
Yeah.
Just adding to the body count.
Amen. Yeah, I loved it. I loved going back to school, like knowing that I'm probably gonna have the best looking sneakers. I'm probably gonna have the best looking gear, and I can't wait for people to just want my stuff. Yeah.
Yo, Ty Louis said, Jesus, Kevin can dodge a question like a politician.
Kevin 2022.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yo,
Announcing it right
yo,
here.
Mayor
live.
Watson, Mayor Watson, he's coming for you.
He's got to retire soon, right?
He's got to. He's got to. He's going to retire after the O train.
No, I'm going federal. Got to change the laws. Got to change the laws of
I
our
like
land.
it. I like it. I like it. For me, man, I went to a uniform school, so new girls, fly in uniforms, just talent. And Henry concurs with me because he said new outfit and girls rugby season.
I went to a uniform school too, but my uniforms didn't look as fly as your girl.
Our uniforms look fly.
Yeah,
bro.
the girls can wear
Were
skirts.
you just khakis and kilts? Is that what you were?
It was kilts. It was like plaid kilts ish, but it was like white and navy blue.
We had uniforms my
Yeah.
grade 12 and OAC year, but not before. That was a weird transition. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I enjoyed it because you didn't have to think about what you were wearing the next
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Things were good, but from that perspective, if you're talking about girls and what they look like, all of a sudden everyone dressed the same, and it
Yeah,
was
everybody looks the same.
kind of killed the mood of the school. Actually, I kind of
Did
felt
it?
like
What school was that?
St. Matt's, but it's good now. They've always been like the kids today don't know what it would have been like without uniforms.
St. Matt. That's in Orleans, right?
Yeah. But for me, that we went from no uniforms to uniforms. I enjoyed it. I liked, hey, I'm just wearing this collared white shirt with khakis every single day. No one knows if it's dirty unless there's a stain. But I just feel like at the end of the day, the originality, creativity. Like people couldn't really show who
But
they
doesn't
were.
that mean you have to stick out more though when you're in a uniform school?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
you
You
do
got to
have
do
to
other
lose.
things for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at so shout out to all my peoples from Sammy G. We found ways to look fly regardless.
Sammy G had some talent.
Yeah.
He did. I
Yeah.
will say that.
Yeah.
God bless French schools.
Love him. Ty went to my school. He knows all about the unis.
He said you guys wore burlap sacks with white polos.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. That's what and they felt like burlap.
Oh man, so
Pop that collar.
protect your neck. So that's the show, y'all. That's the show. Thank you, Kevin, who is the Alec Baldwin of the Our Thoughts Your Thoughts show.
Whenever you need someone live, I'm there. I am there.
Forget Alec Baldwin on Saturday Night Live. We got Kevin. And shout out to Lana once again for Oh My Cheesecakes with the mini cheesecakes.
They look great.
Once again, there's a promo until Friday. If you check out her links, you put in School 5, I believe. Gives you $5 off a dozen mini cheesecakes. So make sure you get on that. And like we said at the top of the show, we are now on YouTube. We're going to be putting some stuff up on a weekly basis due to demand. So thank you to you guys who are asking us if we could throw something up there between the 2 weeks of the show. But it's all because you guys want to participate. So make sure you subscribe to the page, subscribe to the YouTube so you can get the notifications and all that good stuff. And we promise we'll put some good content up for you guys.
Awesome.
All right. So take care. Have fun. Back to school. Be safe with the kids. And we out. Thanks again, Kev.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
It's a
boss.
school night. Gotta go home.
Hey, are we still doing that question at the end? Or no?
Are we still alive?